I was 14 when I started smoking.
I started smoking when I was like 12.
I started smoking when I was about 18 years old.
I started using tobacco around the age of 7.
I started smoking when I was 9 years old.
I started when I was in middle school.
I picked it up when I was 18.
The pressure started to use tobacco when I was in the 8th grade.
Cigarette smoking causes approximately 438,000 premature deaths a year in the United States. To grasp that number, just imagine if those deaths happened in one place. It would be as if 60% of Alaska's population disappeared from the face of the earth in 1 year.
About 17 years ago, Alaska and every other state sued the 4 largest tobacco companies in the United States to try to recover some of the billions of dollars in costs due to tobacco-related illnesses.
In 1998, Alaska and the other suing states signed a master settlement agreement with the tobacco industry.
The tobacco settlement money helps fund a variety of evidence-based activities, all following best practices established by the National Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and what works best for Alaska. Tobacco use wasn't part of Alaska's cultural heritage. It came with the Russian fur industry,
bringing tobacco and knives to trade for the pelts of sea otters and seals,
and the American gold rush explorers.
Each wave of fortune seekers left its mark.
When I was in the Army, and this was true for many of the folks who were in the military, when I was overseas in Vietnam, once a month the helicopters would come in with resupplies, and one of the packages, and it was what we called an SPAC, and it came from the American Red Cross. Primary ingredients in that SPAC, tobacco. Cartons of cigarettes and chewing tobacco and pipe tobacco.
What cigarette do you smoke, Doctor?
It took us a long time to wake up to the danger, and not until 1964 that the Surgeon General put out the warning cigarettes were dangerous.
A mildness that agrees with my throat, and a rich flavor that I didn't find in any other brand.
The industry makes tobacco use seductive and hip. It's one of those where, you know, it's what the cool people do, that wear the cool clothes.
In the U.S., children between the ages of 6 and 14 are exposed to more than $20 billion in imagery, advertising, and promotions.
We're with Tattoo,
which is Teens Against Tobacco Use.
We are a tobacco and alcohol prevention band. We just like to advocate a tobacco and alcohol-free lifestyle for the teens of Western Alaska.
Young people in Alaska are getting involved in tobacco prevention and control because the tobacco industry is directly targeting them. They have to replace the 1,200 smokers that they lose every day. This is my 11-year-old's favorite kind of gum. The foil that it's wrapped in is identical to Camel No. 9. The products are getting smaller, and so it's going to be harder for adults to check what youth are using.
Exposure to secondhand smoke causes nearly 50,000 non-smoker deaths a year in the United States. Alaska's annual medical cost for tobacco use averages $314 million, and lost productivity from tobacco use is about $177 million annually.
So as the only florist in town, I also see the number of deaths that are caused by cancer as a result of the tobacco. As a society, there's a reason why there are rules and regulations. And I think it is important for the City Council to pass an ordinance that says no smoking.
Well, the declines in tobacco use are not something that tobacco companies are going to take just sitting down.
We are making a difference. The tobacco prevention efforts have reduced tobacco use, but on an individual level, reduce suffering and prevent death.
We went smoke-free because it was the law, but I didn't do it because it was my right. I did it because I had to. But I think it's more my responsibility than it is my right.
No to cigarettes.
No to cigarettes.
And no to chew.
And no to chew.
If you get them in the right frame of mind, they'll say, yeah, I'd really like to quit.
Today, there's a powerful groundswell of activity across Alaska. Individuals, coalitions, organizations, and businesses championing the cause to end tobacco-related death and disease.
A tobacco champion is a person in their community, no matter how small or great, who's telling the truth about tobacco and its health effects.
The tide has shifted around tobacco in Alaska, and more people are actively quitting than starting.
The primary reasons I want to quit smoking are the people in my life, my children, my grandchildren.
Many more communities have added on, and that list is growing every couple months. Organizations either making policies on their own or communities adapting policies for the whole community.
Don't smoke and don't chew because it's poison.
Give her a hand.
Don't